Hi, my name is Jihae. It is my privilege to address some of the most brilliant minds of our time. This past year, I have daydreamed of getting on the space elevator, far out of Dodge from planet Earth. You'd be surprised to learn that I have deep affinity towards all of you, without ever having met any of you personally. Why? Because you believe that anything is possible. And that is what I have lived my whole life by. You're my kind of people. We've come a long way from a tainted beginning as the cursed sex, vilified for seeking knowledge and beholding extraordinary abilities. The abuse and prejudice against women around the world is still rampant. But your accomplishments and your commitment to advancing technology and sustainability takes us every step closer to equality, breaking some glass ceilings along the way. So thank you. I had a bit of a lonely childhood growing up across 5 continents, going to 10 different schools by the time I became a teenager. But I learned an invaluable life lesson: to accept and appreciate the other ways of life, people, and ideologies. I also learned to adapt to new environments like a chameleon. But somehow I always refused to adapt to one thing: the racist and sexist culture. Instead of adapting, I transformed myself. I became tougher, bolder, and I worked 10 times harder to defy the stereotype that pit me against my dreams and my goals. When major labels said no to me, I took on multiple jobs and saved up for 4 years to release my first album. Having limited knowledge and resources to market the music taught me to think outside the box, to figure a way to allow my songs to have a life. I began collaborating with fine artists and filmmakers, which took me on an unexpected creative journey of video art installations, art exhibits, and rock operas. This led me to a second career in acting, right after my 4th and latest album, when I was feeling quite like Sisyphus, a little too disheartened and exhausted to keep rolling that boulder up the hill. Standing up to systematic racism as a woman of color is an endless fight. But the key to survival for me has been to figure a way to convert obstacles into opportunities, and to utilize negativity as a fuel for creative output. Now, with that said, the new challenges of the horrific violence and scapegoating hate towards Asians is a tough one for alchemy. The infamous New York City, known for being the melting pot, which has been my home for the last half of my life, has now become the most dangerous place for people of Asian descent. I feel sad and angry and kind of embarrassed to admit that I've had to wear sunglasses and a baseball cap to avoid attacks in the streets for over a year now. 19 million people in the US alone have been feeling this threat and anguish and helplessness, watching their businesses shut down and seeing people of our kind assaulted and killed. As a society, we must address the psychology of race-based hate head-on. It's essential to identify and remedy the mental disorders that stem from hate, fear, anger, and frustration that lead to senseless violence and murders. And educate the key fact that modern humans share the same ancestors out of Africa, to help people see the delusion of white supremacy. While technology is used to rob us of our privacy and keep us in our echo chambers for profit, why not use the same tech to heal, to educate, and to neutralize the mounting aggression and division in our broken world. As a fellow believer in anything is possible, I wholeheartedly believe that there is a way for people to grasp the interconnected oneness of humanity and of all living beings on earth. I invite you to join me to speak out loud against hate and to make sure that the voice of love is the loudest voice. Thank you.